There have been anti-war protests outside the White House as Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu held talks with US Vice President Kamala Harris. Harris told Netanyahu of her serious concern about the humanitarian situation in Gaza after 9 months of war between Israel and Hamas.
The images of dead children and desperate, hungry people fleeing for safety, sometimes displaced for the second, third, or fourth time. We cannot look away in the face of these tragedies. We cannot allow ourselves to become numb to the suffering, and I will not be silent.
Netanyahu's first White House visit since 2020 comes a day after he gave a fiery speech to Congress in which he vowed total victory against Hamas and denounced American opponents of the war in Gaza as idiots. Netanyahu's talks with Harris, who's widely expected to be the Democrat presidential nominee after Joe Biden announced earlier this week he wouldn't run for office again, came after a meeting with the outgoing president earlier on Thursday. 81-year-old Biden is pressing to get Israel and Hamas to sign a ceasefire deal before he steps down in January. White House officials say ceasefire negotiations, which have stumbled along for weeks, are in the closing stages, but there are still issues that need to be resolved. Meanwhile, the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has called the humanitarian situation in Gaza a total disaster.
We are in a situation of total lawlessness, a situation where the law and order has completely disappeared. Nobody is in charge of security anywhere in the area of Gaza. So we see convoys looted at any moment.
Since the war against Hamas started last year, more than 39,000 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza, and the death toll in Israel is 1,200. Dozens of Israeli hostages are still being held by Hamas in Gaza after being taken captive on October the 7th.